Hello there. Who are you? Based on your vibe, student. Your blouse is loose. You're not here to be ogled, but those bracelets, they jangle. You like a little attention. Okay. I bite.
What a show. I heard about this show a couple times, and one time I was browsing Netflix and I was like, I'll watch this. And oh boy, what an emotional roller coaster. I spent many nights up, staying up late, watching this show, and I don't know why. I feel like stressed, I feel damaged emotionally, but somehow motivated. Like, if you're looking for a show that is easy to start, this is it. It is from the first second you're instantly like interested in this amazing character, and it's also a very entertaining throughout the show. By the way, there is spoilers for the entire show. I feel like I need to analyze it for its entirety. So hey, watch the show. It's just 4 little seasons, 5 seasons to come. The main character is Joe Goldberg, which the first time I heard that name was in a Tinder bio. A girl was looking for a Joe type, which you would think it's like a nice and caring, loving person. But honestly, I don't know if he is or he is not. So Joe is one of the best written characters. He's standing with like Walter White, Saul Goodman, BoJack Horseman. Yes, I know it's a horse, but still, those are like very fleshed out characters. We see Joe's childhood, we see his motivation, and when he does the most fucked up shit, we're still like, but he's a good man in heart. How do the writers make us think that? But one of the biggest things about the show is the narration.
Beck, you're too drunk to be alone. What if some sicko had followed you down here?
There is like 2 layers to the story, what he actually does and what he thinks, and what he says. It is drastically different, and we get to know him more than other people. The show tries to make him look special and simultaneously making the viewers feel one of the kind. You see, Joe is just a normal guy paying his bill, trying to find love, struggling to fit in. It is cool to be awkward, shy, and sometimes mysterious. And the small bad things he does, we kind of want to do as well. Like, I think the show brings the inner demon from ours. Like, we want to do some stalking on a girl we like. Oh, a friend is being annoying. If only they would disappear. Obviously, for entertaining purposes, it goes drastically by like murdering everyone, but it's still the concept and relatability is in the show. We notice that Joe is not fully evil. He seeks out moments to help. And in the first seasons, there is a kid named Paco, which he is struggling with his whole family. So kind of Joe steps in as a kind of dad figure, helps him learn, helps him with books, even like with food and advices. So we kind of see that Joe is honest and a good person. He's not psychopathic. Psychopaths don't feel emotions, so he's more of a sociopath, which is nicer, I guess. So I want to talk about the structure of the show. There is 4 seasons, and it has like a very specific structure, which I like. We know what to expect, but it also sometimes gets a bit repetitive. So first season, he falls in love with Beck and he protects him by doing mostly bad things to her. But he also protects Paco, which he actually does good things for. Season 2, he falls in love with Love, does some questionable things, but he is changed a bit now. He is better. He's trying to be better. He also protects Ellie, which she's the same as Paco, maybe more difficult to connect with, but also like a kid that is struggling with her family and needs some help. So kind of Joe steps in as a dad figure, trying to be. So in season 2, in between of Loving Love, he starts playing around with Delilah, which what he does in first season. Oh, it's Karen as well. In season 3, they escape a bit of a structure, but there's also Marianne, which is the same as Delilah or Karen. in between of loving the love. And season 4 also escapes the structure, but there is very things like similar. He starts loving Kate, but he kind of pushes her away the same way he did in season 2 with Love. Oh, and there's also Nadia, which acts the same as Paco or Ellie. There is also like the confusion where in second season Joe didn't know if he killed Delilah, and in the fourth season he didn't know if he killed Malcolm. And I don't know if the structure is a bad thing. We know what to expect. We're learning from Joe, and we kind of see similar situations and how he deals with them differently. And I think the show is just all about showing Joe. So time to get to the interesting part, the murder part. And I just love the storytelling in Joe's, how he progressively turns worse. And so we know the first kill he got was his dad. He shot him, but we understand the emotions were running high, and he even tells that story to Marianne, which I think it gets him pity points, and he can tell that to people without getting in trouble or anything, and people will relate to him and they will understand, and I think he forgives himself as well. So the first season, he is almost kind of the worst of himself. He kills everyone that remotely is threatening his love, but he kind of does it in a very detached way. He killed Elijah by pushing off the edge. He killed Benji by just giving peanuts, which like, right, it's just peanuts, bro, just like endure. And then he killed Peach in kind of mostly self-defense, and he killed Beck, which changed him so much. It's like he spent more than a year just obsessing over her, like having no life, just her, and then he kills her off screen. Like, how horrible is that? Like, that is the first time an off-screen death has more impact than any on-screen. It is so fucking fascinating that he just snapped, and I think that death made him changed into a different version. I don't want to say a better one, but he tries. In second season, he tries to be better, and he lets go a random person that he could have killed. Like, he struggled of letting go Love because she will like report him, but he had no problem doing it to this guy who nobody gives a shit. But that eventually was one of the best decisions he did. He even like calls him later to talk, and he's doing nice. No bad things came from it. But then Love came. Oh, Love, the most amazing character I've ever seen. It is a perfect match for Joe, who we find out that he doesn't need love, he just needs control over people and to have his mysteries. Wouldn't it be perfect if he just like lived happily ever after? But of course he instantly feels like he needs his mysteries, he needs his secrets, which I fucking hate Joe. Like, he got what he wanted, and then he find out that nah, not really, I don't want that. He needs to fix people. Why not Love? What makes her different? He sees himself in her. That is like such a good character design, that we found out that Joe basically hates himself. Once he found out that Love is the same broken person as him, he instantly gave up on her, and he was with her only because of the baby, and she knew that, and that is just horrible. Love saw a broken person and tried to help him. She saw like a soulmate, while Joe just saw a monster. Can we get an applause for the actress Victoria? She did such a great job in this show. Like, you can truly feel her emotions. When she's happy, you have nothing else but to smile. When she's sad, you cry. But oh boy, can she be terrifying. Holy shit. Something about in season 3, the last episode, where we knew like how fucked up of a person she is, And when Joe was just poking the bear by like trying to like run away from her, we knew something fucked up is going to happen. And holy shit. And I hated that they did not trust each other. Like, who else do you have?
There's a key in here. Those creepy bitches don't trust each other.
Their relationship was rooted in mutual destruction. The same shit like Benji did. They can't tell about the other, so they just both stayed in this miserable state. They were on the same level as someone in a cage. Love was in the same spot as Joe in season 1. She killed without really thinking. But instead of Joe helping her, he made it worse by just ignoring her. And she used the only thing that unites them, death. There would be moments where Joe and Love would try to be better, mostly from Love's side. Joe just wanted to be an asshole and distract her so she didn't kill Marianne. But Love was always smart. She knew about like Natalia and Marianne just from like small details in conversations. With Marianne, she found out once like a dude died, and then she connected that this dude was with Marianne and Joe killed the dude. But she was never mad at Joe. She understood how broken of a person and always kind of just tried to fix the problem. And does this show make us interesting season finales? All of the seasons have an amazing ending. Watching Love try to kill Joe and Joe just perfectly having a plan for everything. He knew that Love will try to kill him eventually, or that Joe will kill Love. And holy shit, it just show how psychopathic he truly is. So let's go to season 4. So at first I was very disappointed in season 4. I went into it knowing that it's kind of a meh season. But yeah, the start was like a murder mystery. And the poster even looks exactly like from Knives Out. But still, following Joe is truly interesting because he's a well-written character. But when they found out that the murderer that Joe was catching was himself, at first I fucking hated it because I learned from the show that we can always trust Joe. Whatever he says or does, it is true to his actions. Like, we were tricked into believing like he killed Delilah, even though he was saying that he will save her. We found out that he didn't. Then when in second season Love was introduced and that her husband died, I was like, fucking Christ, Joe killed him. But now everything is fine. So I kind of learned that the show will always push Joe to say the truth. So when we found out that Joe has been killing everyone behind the scenes, and especially I hated that the show particularly seeked out moments to say that, oh, it's not a Joe killing, when like a ring was planted on him, when we saw him in a location not near where a person died. It's like, and then like a burning house, like how did he like tie himself up and burn the house? But cool, you got us. It was still an incredibly entertaining season and I loved it, and it tackled very interesting character dynamics, especially choosing his kind of detached personality of this psychopathic murderer to be Reese, which is a person that struggled in his childhood the same way Joe did, but kind of grew up to be a great person, to run for politics, to help out people. But even in Joe's mind, he thought that that is impossible, and he's obviously a psychopathic murderer behind the scenes, even though he was a nice guy. So it's just nice to see how he sees himself as not a victim as he had no other choice. His childhood was fucked up. He killed a person. So, you know, a first one bites the dust, so it doesn't matter if many others do as well. And kind of the last scenes with like Reese in season 4, he pushes him off the ledge saying like, I'm not a murderer anymore, this part is behind me. And it's just so nice kind of to see even his murdering part having some good in it. Like he apologizes and he thanks him and he says goodbye.
I love you!
Lockwood was right about one thing. We didn't make the world, and it fucked us up deeply.
And it's a kind of nice scene, but obviously in season 5 we will see more of like the murdering character. So it was kind of nice to see that Joe couldn't trust himself even, and the same as the audience, he felt betrayed by himself. And the most selfless thing for him to do was to kill himself without like telling anyone or showing that he's actually dead. Because if he would have died in that river, everyone would have assumed that he just ran off somewhere to be a miserable human being again. Can I just add my predictions for season 5? Kate kills Joe. I feel that Kate is a very nice character. She is very similar to Love as like a very fucked up evil person. But Love was embracing that fucked up side and Joe was making even her worse. While Kate feels like she is on the path of truly being better, where Joe is now the opposite from season 3, where he is just absolutely evil. One of the last scenes, he just kills a kid and makes Nadia take the blame for it. And as it being the last season, I feel that Joe needs to go to prison or die, because no other way is the show ending. But I also feel like the show always surprises me, and I'm hoping they will do it again with something crazy rather than Kate killing him, because in season 2, Love already tried killing Joe. So one of the best shows I've ever seen. No comfort, no happiness. We're just watching a broken person being broken. And I love it for it. Like the perfect amount of entertaining while also having the moments of characters just talking about their feelings. And it's a very psychological show where you just kind of think like Joe is not meant to be a good guy. He shouldn't have been praised and fantasized like he is. And the show just constantly tries us to remind us that he is an evil guy, that we're just following along. And I feel all the seasons are very unique to each other. Season 1 I absolutely loved, and I thought when I watched season 2 that it's even better than season 1. But did I talk about season 2 at all? No, I feel that it was just kind of repackaged and crazier of what season 1 had to. And then season 3 and 4, they just showed a very interesting perspectives on Joe. How in season 3, Joe just hates himself, and then in season 4, that shit comes out, and two personalities fighting with each other are very goddamn interesting to see. And originally, when I kind of finished season 3, I wanted to give the show 9 out of 10 because I felt like I didn't see what I wanted, and as that Joe got better and he embraced his just happy life, which I know that wouldn't been a show, but they could have done something. But him being more evil kind of was an ick to me, and I gave it a 9 out of 10. But now, I'll say it, it's 10 out of 10 because I'm okay with Joe dying. So, bye-bye.